Jason, you were telling us that one of the first things that you folks do here at Chill when a filmmaker comes in with their film is to look at their social media numbers.
Yeah, so on the acquisition, so it's important to note that Chill does two things. The first thing we do is we have a platform called Insider Access that allows people to get in and start engaging an audience while they're still in pre-production, going into production, going into post-production, and then out in the marketplace. And the second thing we have is a transactional, direct-to-consumer, video-on-demand platform that is highly social media driven. And so by that definition, whenever we're trying to acquire a movie, one of the first things we ask ourselves is, what's the social? That's the question we ask ourselves a lot. And in response to that question, we're going to look at people's social media accounts and we're going to say, oh, this guy has 10,000 Facebook likes on his page. And you might think for a second like, well, that guy has a lot of Facebook likes. But if you look closely, you're going to find that some of these filmmakers haven't touched their movie for a year or more, and there hasn't been an update, and everybody, it's just, I always use the phrase, and it's not my phrase, but I love it. It's like an abandoned amusement park on the internet. It's these places where there was once a lot of fun and happiness, and now it's not there anymore. Right. And so there's a lot of filmmakers out there, and rightfully so. You go through the process of making a movie, it's a pain in the butt, and you're lucky if you still speak to your cast and crew, let alone, you want to keep promoting the thing a year after, you've been to the festivals and you're fatigued, and you just want it to be done. You want to just move on to the next thing. Well, that can actually hurt you. That can hurt you from an acquisitions perspective, because now you know that when you're working with this filmmaker, they're not going to be engaged. What they're looking for is just to hand a movie off and say, okay, my movie's distributed now. And that might be fine for some filmmakers, but for other filmmakers that actually want to make their movie a viable business, it can be a hindrance if you let that stuff die. So strong social media is definitely appealing. And I've been on several panel discussions now with film festival directors, and they said they're actually looking for the exact same thing. They want to go after movies and acquire movies for their film festival, where the filmmaker's actively engaged and actively promoting, with the thought being is if we get this in our festival, they're going to be able to fill the seats. And so underlining all the different things I talk about engaging an audience, there is a degree of commerce here that if people are investing time and money in your project, they're looking for the safest return, the lowest risk return. And so engaging on your social media and staying up to date is one way to demonstrate that.
So what can you advise filmmakers on their social media in terms of their Facebook and their Twitter, not just on how active they are, but what they're doing in that activity? What can you tell them?
Well, the activity should always be geared towards whatever it is that whatever the conversation is, keep it going in that direction. So obviously, if you've made your movie about purple pine cones, don't go on there one day and start talking about obesity in America. It probably just wouldn't be a good fit. So stay on topic, but also kind of make it interesting and reveal yourself as a real person behind the guise of, I'm the guy making the movie, which frankly is another art in and of itself, and some people are better at than other people. But genuine conversation. Again, marketing is a conversation. So figure out how to keep that conversation going.
And what are some tips on keeping yourself human, but maybe not, it's not a video diary?
Right. We're not talking personal video diaries, but keeping yourself human. I think it's okay to get on there and, some behind the scenes footage is nice every once in a while, especially if you're still in production. I'd love to see, the heated discussion that you have with your director of photography over why somebody thinks it should go this way and somebody thinks it should look a different way. I'm not saying that those are always heated discussions, but that kind of stuff is interesting because now you feel more a part of the production before the movie's even made. And I think that's a good way to engage without showing too much.